I ran across one of my old videos that I did about 4 years ago. It was 7 things that Rockstar will never do in Grand Theft Auto. And one of the things that I actually touched on in that video was that there was never going to be a female main protagonist. And the reason I talked about that is because I was quoting something that came directly from the Rockstar Games co-founder, Dan Houser, as he actually explained why there was male-only protagonists in Grand Theft Auto 5 and why the series beforehand had only seen male main characters. And in a way, this kind of explains why we are actually getting a female main character in Grand Theft Auto 6. So the interview comes from The Guardian. It came out just a few days before Grand Theft Auto 5 released on September 17th, 2013. And in the interview, Houser also briefly tackled the reason why one of the protagonists wasn't a woman, something that is yet to happen in the entire GTA franchise. And he said this: the concept of being masculine was so key to this story. So when I went back and looked at that quote, I was like, okay, that now makes sense. The concept of being masculine was key to Grand Theft Auto 5's story, not necessarily the entire Grand Theft Auto story. Now, there's a handful of reasons why also we're seeing Lucia in GTA 6, and one of those might simply be that Dan Houser is no longer with Rockstar Games. Now, I can't imagine he was the only reason why, to the date, Grand Theft Auto had never seen a girl main character, but maybe he was the one that wanted to keep that concept of masculinity. Now, there is a chance, since he left Rockstar only a few years ago, that a lot of his ideas and storytelling is still going to happen in Grand Theft Auto 6. I guarantee you when we see the credits of the game, he's still going to be credited and still going to be featured and having an active role in the story and in the development of the game. But I think it's the quote, the concept of being masculine was so key to this story, that's really the big kicker here. And it looks like Grand Theft Auto 6's story is now ready for a female main protagonist to be the lead. And based on the Grand Theft Auto 6 leaks, we've seen a lot of different theories on what that might be. It certainly looks like there's a Bonnie and Clyde mechanism to this story. It also looks like there's going to be a degree of romance between Jason and Lucia, or at least a friendship of some sort. And Jason, and vice versa, might need Lucia. Like, for example, there's the idea that Jason or Lucia is locked up at the beginning of the game, and that one of them will be needed to get each other out, or vice versa. Again, we don't know how it's entirely going to play out. So there's a chance that now the idea of Lucia, of a companion, a partner, a friend, a lover, a romantic companion, is going to be key to the story. Now, since we're on the subject of Lucia, and I guess you could loop Jason into this as well, I kind of want to answer a few common questions I've been hearing and seeing about these two characters. Number one is, will the names change? Because I don't know if you guys knew this early on in the production of GTA 5, the names were all entirely different. Like, for example, Michael, his original name was supposed to be Albert De Silva instead of Michael DeSanta. We know this thanks to a leaked casting call. I don't believe there's going to be any name changes because there already seems to be voiceover in the game. And there's voiceover mentioning the names of the characters. So that would mean they would have to redo the voice acting. They would have to redo the narration side of things. I think the names are going to stay the same. Now, one thing that could very likely change, and that is the appearance of Jason and Lucia. So right now, we've only really seen 2 or 3 looks for each of our characters. We have, sort of the iconic look for Jason, the cargo shorts, the tank top with the backwards red and white hat. For Lucia, we've got those like blue camouflage jeans, sort of like the pink crop top. We also see her with straightened hair and a black dress, which is what looks to be like a more formal attire. There's a really good chance that not only will their outfits change, but also the appearance of their faces will change and their body types in general. Just go back and take a look at some of the before and after, or beta and final version of the main characters of GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, like Michael DeSanta, like Arthur Morgan. There's big differences between what we saw in the beta version, which is basically what we would have seen in the Grand Theft Auto 6 leaks, and then what we get in the final version of the game. It'll also be interesting the pronunciation of Lucia. There's many ways in which you can pronounce it, whether it comes from a different part of the world or not, like whether or not it's Italian or Spanish. It could be Lucia, it could be Lucia, it could be Lucia. There's a lot of different ways to pronounce it. Let me know how you are going to pronounce her name. I'm sure Rockstar will have a particular pronunciation for it. I'm sure it's going to sound way differently than it actually looks. There's kind of a funny example. When I first got Red Dead Redemption 2, and when obviously we knew about some of the locations, obviously Saint Denis, I was certainly not calling it that in the beginning. It definitely sounded like Saint Denis to me. So I'm sure it is going to be completely different when the game does actually arrive, but how do you think we're going to be pronouncing her name? And I think one of the biggest takeaways here with Jason and Lucia is we can't judge a book by their cover. We obviously only know so little about these characters thanks to the GTA 6 leaks, and Rockstar haven't even properly revealed them to the world. We weren't supposed to know about these two main characters, so just save your final thoughts for when the game is out. I remember when people thought Arthur from RDR2 was going to be this generic Wild West cowboy until everyone absolutely loved him. Arthur is beloved and is considered to be one of the greatest protagonists, not only in the Rockstar universe, but in gaming in general. So you can't judge a book by its cover. We really will just have to wait until the final game is out, which unfortunately could be a long ways away, at least the way Rockstar is going about doing things. So all in all, that right there is the real reason why Rockstar has a female protagonist in Grand Theft Auto 6. It could be because of a new direction of the company of Rockstar, but also that it fits the story this time. And it should give us an idea of what the campaign and the overarching theme of Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be about. With GTA 5 and our three main characters all being dudes, it was all about this crazy adventure of revenge, trying to make a ton of money. It looks like this one's going to be a whole lot different, which is obviously a good thing. We want it to be a different story, and it'll be interesting to see when the final game comes out how Lucia, or however you pronounce her name, is going to be received. Do you think she's going to be one of the most liked characters or protagonists in the series, or do you think people are going to say she's one of the worst, and why did Rockstar ultimately do this? Let me know what you guys think in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go and enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Rockstar Games videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.